Question 1. How can you plan your route before starting a long journey? C. Use a route planner on the internet. Various route planners are available on the internet. Most of them give you several options, allowing you to choose between the most direct route and quieter roads. They may also identify rest and fuel stops. Print off the directions and take them with you. Question 2. How can drivers help the environment? B. By accelerating gently. Rapid acceleration and heavy braking lead to increased bullet fuel consumption, bullet wear on your vehicle. Having your vehicle serviced regularly will maintain its efficiency, produce cleaner emissions, and reduce the risk of a breakdown. Question 3. What's the safest thing to do if you have to leave valuables in your car? C. Lock them out of sight. If you have to leave valuables in your car, lock them out of sight. This is the best way to deter an opportunist thief. Question 4. On a vehicle, where would you find a catalytic converter? D. On the exhaust system. Although carbon dioxide is still produced, a catalytic converter fitted to the exhaust system reduces the toxic and polluting gases by up to 90%. Question 5. What's most likely to increase fuel consumption? D. Harsh braking and accelerating. Accelerating and braking gently and smoothly will help to save fuel and reduce wear on your vehicle. This makes it better for the environment too. Question 6. What can people who live or work in towns and cities do to help reduce urban pollution levels? C. Walk or cycle. Using a vehicle for short journeys means the engine doesn't have time to reach its normal operating temperature. When an engine is running below its normal operating temperature, it produces increased amounts of pollution. Walking and cycling don't create pollution and have health benefits as well. Question 7. How can driving in a fuel-efficient manner help protect the environment? D. By reducing exhaust emissions. Fuel-efficient driving is all about looking and planning further ahead. This helps raise your hazard awareness and reduces the need for late and heavy braking. This will make your journeys more comfortable, as well as considerably reducing your fuel bills and reducing emissions that can damage the environment. Question 8. You're stopped at the side of the road. What must you do if you'll be waiting there for some time? A. Switch off the engine. If your vehicle is stationary and is likely to remain so for some time, you must switch off the engine unless you're stationary in traffic or diagnosing a fault. Question 9. You want to put a rear-facing baby seat on the front passenger seat. What must you do if the passenger seat is protected by a frontal airbag? A. Deactivate the airbag. It's illegal to fit a rear-facing baby seat into a passenger seat, protected by an active frontal airbag. If the airbag activates, it could cause serious injury or even death to the child. You must secure it in a different seat or deactivate the relevant airbag. Follow the manufacturer's advice when fitting a baby seat. Question 10. How can you reduce the damage your vehicle causes to the environment? D. Anticipate well ahead. By looking well ahead and recognizing hazards in good time, you can avoid late and heavy braking. Watch the traffic flow and look well ahead for potential hazards, so you can control your speed in good time. Avoid over-revving the engine and accelerating harshly, as this increases wear to the engine and uses more fuel. Question 11. What should you remove from your car before leaving it unattended? D. The vehicle registration document. Never leave the vehicle registration document inside your car. This document would help a thief to dispose of your car more easily. Question 12. What's the purpose of a catalytic converter? C. To reduce harmful exhaust gases. Catalytic converters reduce a large percentage of harmful exhaust emissions. They work more efficiently when the engine has reached its normal working temperature. Question 13. When should tire pressures be checked? D. When tires are cold. Check the tire pressures when the tires are cold. This will give you a more accurate reading. The heat generated on a long journey will raise the pressure inside the tire. Question 14. You have to arrive on time for an appointment. How should you plan for the journey? A. Allow plenty of time for the trip. Always allow plenty of time for your journey in case of unforeseen problems. Anything can happen, for example, punctures, breakdowns, road closures, diversions and delays. You'll feel less stressed and less inclined to take risks if you aren't pushed for time. Question 15. What's likely to happen if you put too much oil in your engine? D. The oil seals will leak. Too much oil will lead to increased pressure in the engine. This could damage oil seals and lead to oil leaks. Any excess oil should be drained off. Question 16. What should you do when you leave your car unattended for a few minutes? C. Lock it and remove the key. Always switch off the engine, remove the key and lock your car, even if you're only leaving it for a few minutes. Question 17. What does it mean if this light comes on while you are driving? A fault in the braking system. If this light comes on, you should have the brake system checked immediately. A faulty braking system could have dangerous consequences. Question 18. What should you do if your vehicle pulls to one side when you use the brakes? B. Have the brakes checked as soon as possible. The brakes on your vehicle must be effective and properly adjusted. If your vehicle pulls to one side when braking, take it to be checked by a qualified mechanic as soon as you can. Question 19. What's the legal minimum tread depth for tires on your trailer or caravan? B. 1.6 millimeters. Trailers and caravans may be left in storage over the winter months, and tires can deteriorate. It's important to check their tread depth and also their pressures and general condition. The legal tread depth of 1.6 millimeters applies to the central 3/4 of a tire's breadth, over its entire circumference. Question 20. What will happen if your car's wheels are unbalanced? B. The steering will vibrate. If your wheels are out of balance, it will cause the steering to vibrate at certain speeds. This isn't a fault that will put itself right, so take your vehicle to a garage or tire fitter to have the wheels rebalanced. Question 21. You have to make an unexpected journey. You're carrying a 5-year-old child on the back seat of your car. They're under 1.35 meters, 4 feet 5 inches tall. How should you seat them if a correct child restraint isn't available? B. Using an adult seat belt. In journeys of unexpected necessity, and when a correct child restraint isn't available, the child must sit on the rear seat and use an adult seat belt. In a collision, unrestrained objects and people can cause serious injury or even death. Question 22. What can cause excessive or uneven tire wear? B. A faulty braking system. If you see that parts of the tread on your tires are wearing before others, it may indicate a brake, suspension or wheel alignment fault. Regular servicing will help to detect faults at an early stage, and this will avoid the risk of minor faults becoming serious or even dangerous. Question 23. You're driving a friend's children home from school. They're both under 14 years old. Who's responsible for making sure they wear seatbelt or approved child restraint where required? C. You, the driver. Passengers should always be secured and safe. Children should be encouraged to fasten their seatbelts or approved restraints themselves from an early age, so that it becomes a matter of routine. As the driver, you must check that they're fastened securely. It's your responsibility. Question 24. How can you help to prevent your car radio being stolen? D. Install a security-coded radio. A security-coded radio can deter thieves, as it's likely to be of little use when removed from the vehicle. Question 25. You need to top up your battery with distilled water. What level should you fill it to? D. just above the cell plates. Top up the battery with distilled water and make sure each cell plate is covered. Question 26. What part of the car does the law require you to keep in good condition? D. The seat belts. Unless exempt, you and your passengers must wear seat belt or suitable child restraint. The seat belts in your car must be in good condition and working properly. They'll be checked during its MOT test. Question 27. If you're involved in a collision, what will reduce the risk of neck injury? D. A properly adjusted head restraint. If you're involved in a collision, head restraints will reduce the risk of neck injury. They must be properly adjusted. Make sure they aren't positioned too low. In a crash, this could cause damage to the neck. Question 28. You're leaving your vehicle parked on a road and unattended. When may you leave the engine running? D. Never if you're away from the vehicle. When you leave your vehicle parked on a road, switch off the engine and secure the vehicle. Make sure no valuables are visible, shut all the windows, lock the vehicle, and set the alarm if the vehicle has one. Question 29. How will your journey be affected by traveling outside the busy times of day? D. Your journey will have fewer delays. If possible, avoid the early morning, late afternoon and early evening rush hour. Doing this should allow you to have a better journey, with fewer delays. This should help you to arrive at your destination feeling less stressed. Question 30. Why is it important to wear suitable shoes when you're driving? B. To maintain control of the pedals. When you're going to drive, make sure that you're wearing suitable clothing. Comfortable shoes will ensure that you have proper control of the foot pedals. Question 31. When may a passenger travel in a car without wearing a seat belt? D. When they're exempt for medical reasons. If you have adult passengers, it's their responsibility to wear a seat belt, but you should still remind them to use one as they get in the car. It's your responsibility to make sure that all children in your car are secured with an appropriate restraint. Exemptions are allowed for those with a medical exemption certificate. Question 32. What may help to deter a thief from stealing your car? D. Etching the registration number on the windows. Having your car registration number etched on all your windows is a cheap and effective way to deter professional car thieves. Question 33. You're parked on the road at night. When must you use parking lights? B. When the speed limit exceeds 30 miles per hour. When parking at night, park in the direction of the traffic. This will enable other road users to see the reflectors on the rear of your vehicle. Use your parking lights if the speed limit is over 30 miles per hour. Question 34. What's most likely to waste fuel? D. Underinflated tires. Wasting fuel costs you money and also causes unnecessary pollution. Ensuring your tires are correctly inflated, avoiding carrying unnecessary weight and removing a roof rack that's not in use will all help to reduce your fuel consumption. Question 35. You plan your route before starting a journey. Why should you also plan an alternative route? A. Your original route may be blocked. It can be frustrating and worrying to find your planned route is blocked by roadworks or diversions. If you've planned an alternative, you'll feel less stressed and more able to concentrate fully on your driving or riding. If your original route is mostly on motorways, it's a good idea to plan an alternative using non-motorway roads. Always carry a map with you just in case you need to refer to it. Question 36. The fluid level in your battery is low. What fluid should you use to top it up? B. Distilled water. Some modern batteries are maintenance-free. Check your vehicle handbook and, if necessary, make sure that the plates in each battery cell are covered with fluid. Question 37. When will your vehicle use more fuel? A. When its tires are underinflated. Check your tire pressures frequently, normally once a week. If they're lower than those recommended by the manufacturer, there will be more rolling resistance. The engine will have to work harder to overcome this, leading to increased fuel consumption. Question 38. What can you achieve if you drive smoothly? C. Reduction in fuel consumption by about 15%. By driving smoothly, you'll not only save about 15% of your fuel, but will also reduce the amount of wear and tear on your vehicle, and the level of pollution it produces. You're also likely to feel more relaxed and have a more pleasant journey. Question 39. How should you drive when you're driving along a road that has road humps? A. Maintain a reduced speed throughout. Road humps are there for a reason, to protect vulnerable road users by reducing the speed of traffic. Don't accelerate harshly between the humps. Put the safety of others first and maintain a reduced speed throughout the zone. Question 40. Which driving technique can help you save fuel? D. Missing out some gears. Missing out intermediate gears, when appropriate, helps to reduce the amount of time spent accelerating and decelerating, the times when your vehicle uses the most fuel. Question 41. What can you do to reduce environmental damage caused by your vehicle? D. Avoid making a lot of short journeys. Avoid using your car for short journeys. On a short journey, the engine is unlikely to warm up fully and will therefore be running less efficiently. This will result in the car using more fuel and emitting high levels of harmful emissions. Question 42. What's the most important reason for having a properly adjusted head restraint? B. To help you avoid neck injury. In a collision, rapid deceleration will violently throw vehicle occupants forward and then backwards as the vehicle stops. Seat belts and airbags protect occupants against the forward movement. Head restraints should be adjusted so they give maximum protection to the head and neck during the backward movement. Question 43. You're having difficulty finding a parking space in a busy town. Can you park on the zigzag lines of a zebra crossing? D. No, not under any circumstances. It's an offense to park on the zigzag lines of a zebra crossing. You'll be causing an obstruction by obscuring the view of both pedestrians and drivers. Question 44. What will reduce fuel consumption? A. Driving more slowly. Harsh braking, frequent gear changes and harsh acceleration increase fuel consumption. A car uses less fuel when traveling at a constant low speed in an appropriate high gear. You need to look well ahead so you're able to anticipate hazards early. Easing off the accelerator and timing your approach at junctions, for example, can reduce the fuel consumption of your vehicle. Question 45. What can be damaged if you turn the steering wheel when the car isn't moving? D. The tires. Turning the steering wheel when the car isn't moving is known as dry steering. It can cause unnecessary wear to the tires and steering mechanism. Question 46. How would underinflated tires affect your vehicle? A. The vehicle's stopping distance would increase. Your tires are your only contact with the road. To prevent problems with braking and steering, keep your tires free from defects. They must have sufficient tread depth and be correctly inflated. Correct tire pressures help reduce the risk of skidding and provide a safer and more comfortable drive or ride. Question 47. How will you benefit from following the manufacturer's service schedule for your vehicle? C. Your vehicle will remain reliable. All vehicles need to be serviced to keep working efficiently. An efficient engine uses less fuel and produces fewer harmful emissions than an engine that's running inefficiently. Keeping the vehicle serviced to the manufacturer's schedule should also keep it reliable and reduce the chance of it breaking down. Question 48. What should you do when leaving your vehicle parked and unattended? C. Lock it and remove the key. An unlocked car is an open invitation to thieves. Leaving the keys in the ignition not only makes your car easy to steal, but could also invalidate your insurance. Question 49. What should you do if your anti-lock brakes, ABS, warning light stays on? Have the brakes checked immediately. Consult the vehicle handbook or a garage before driving the vehicle any further. Only drive to a garage if it's safe to do so. If you aren't sure, get expert help. Question 50. What's the purpose of road humps, chicanes and narrowings? D. To reduce traffic speed. Traffic calming measures help to keep vehicle speeds low in congested areas where there are pedestrians and children. A pedestrian is much more likely to survive a collision with a vehicle traveling at 20 miles per hour than they are with a vehicle traveling at 40 miles per hour.